Welcome back, America. I'm with Noa Tishby, first Israeli special envoy for combating anti-Semitism, the delegitimization of Israel. And she's written Israel, A Simple Guide to the Most Misunderstood Country on Earth. Well, I think we're having a problem in this country too, Noa Tishby, which is the anti-Semites, and I might add the Hamas supporters, are no longer in the closet. They're in the streets, they're full-throated, they're saying horrific things about obliterating Jews, they're saying horrific things about the state of Israel. You've been watching this for decades. What's your take on this?
My take is that I'm very pleased to some extent that a lot of people in America are waking up to this cancer that has been around in our universities and colleges for way too long. We have been saying for years that the new anti-Semitism is simply anti-Zionism. We've been saying for years that Israel had turned into the Jew of the world, and people are going to use Israel as an excuse for Jew hatred. What we're seeing right now is everything is coming out to the surface. I really hope that there's going to be able to be a change around this, because I know a lot of people are shocked by this. Look, there's been an intentional grooming of American youth that's been taking place since 2001, since the Conference for Anti-Semitism, for Racism, in Durban, South Africa, that had turned so anti-Semitic that the United States and Israel had to pull out of it. This is where they came up with the language of trying to brand Israel an apartheid state and delegitimize its standing in the world. And that language is what BDS movement and SJP and all these on-campus movements have been using for years in order to poison our children's minds. When for 20 or so years, 18 years, you're allowed to roam campuses and tell people that Israel is an apartheid state, that Israel is a colonialist state, and that Israel should not exist. When you dehumanize and vilify and demonize Israel so long, that's what causes a reaction that when the greatest slaughter on Jewish people happened since the Holocaust, in one day on October 7th, people in America, young people in America, turn around and go, yeah, but Israel kind of deserves this. This is nothing but anti-Semitism. It's Jew hatred. It's racism. It's the oldest form of hate and discrimination that is still being practiced today. And I really hope that people understand now that anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism are one and the same and are going to act to do something about it. I strongly believe that the movements like BDS and SJP should be outlawed from every college and every university in America. We're not going to allow KKK to roam free on campus, right? From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free is a call for Jewish slaughter. That's what it is, and it needs to be outlawed. Enough with that.
Are you concerned with the American media, the New York Times, which seem to have individuals who write for them or speak for them who are very sympathetic to this Hamas terrorist ideology? Or am I missing something?
Well, personally, I'm grateful for the New York Times, because on Thursday they ran a beautiful feature about me, and I'm very pleased with it. Finally, they're covering the right side of the story, which is great. I'm very pleased. No, I really am very grateful. And I'm grateful because a lot of people are finally listening. There has been an anti-Israel bias in the media for so many years. Look, we've been calling about this forever. So there'd be a terror attack on Israel or a missile launched on Israel, and the headlines all over the world would be Israel attacks in Gaza. So this bias is something that is not new, and I really hope that right now, with this barbaric slaughter on October 7th, and with the fact that the IDF is showing this 47 minutes film of horror by Hamas, a lot of media outlets are realizing the type of devil we're dealing with, and that type of devil needs to be stopped. And let me say one more thing. These are all tentacles of Iran. Hamas is a tentacle of Iran, albeit Sunni and not Shiite, but still, they're sponsoring them. Hamas is sponsoring the Houthis in the south that are throwing rockets and missiles into Israel. Hamas is sponsoring Hezbollah in the north that is jumping in the fray as well. Hamas is behind every single bad actor in the region. They are the most destabilizing force in the entire world. And what needs to be happening right now is a credible military threat needs to be put on the table against Iran, because sadly, that is the only way that they will understand and stop. This is not a threat to Israel and not a threat to the Jewish people. This is a threat to America's way of life and to Western civilization as we know it. And a lot of people in Europe also know this as well. Not the public, but the politicians that ran to Israel along with the Biden administration, that ran to Israel and were very concerned about what is happening right now. This is a threat for Western civilization, and a credible military threat needs to be on the table against Iran.
Well, it does, but it's not.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.